You are now in tune to the most intriguing podcast in the universe. Hosted by the scientist Leon Marshall. Are you ready for Marshall's Melanin Podcast?
Listen, I am fully energized.
Class is in session.
You gonna learn today.
I found it really enlightening, like educational as well. There were a lot of things I didn't know, especially with melanin and like all the benefits of melanin. So I found that very interesting.
I love it. There's so much information, you know, it's entertaining and it's just facts after facts after facts.
This is the podcast where science is made simple and learning is fun. Welcome to Marshall's Melanin Podcast, Class 1. Now, here's your host, the scientist Leon Marshall.
Yo, Marshall.
Yes, welcome family. My name is Leon Marshall and you are tuned into Marshall's Melanin Podcast. Big up everyone who's listening right now. Large up the family, large up everyone. Yes. Put some ones in the chat, let me know you're in the building, family. Put some ones in the chat and let me know where you're tuned in from. You are now tuned in to Marshall's Melanin Podcast. We now do this on a weekly basis, family. This is now going to be weekly. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you, everyone. You're in for a treat. Now remember, these podclasses are more educational than anything else. That's why I've called it a podcast as opposed to a podcast. I do these every week, so don't miss them. We'll be covering things that relate to melanin, and we're just going to be covering things that are relating to black people in general. So get your topics and your questions and your queries ready, because near the end I'm going to open up the forum and allow you guys to ask your questions, make your comments, or just tell me what's on your melanin mind. I don't mind what you say, just be a part of tonight's class. Now I've created this podcast so we can all truly understand melanin once and for all, what it is and how it works. We must change the narrative around melanin if we are ever going to understand it. Changing the narrative means we need to change the language, change the way we talk about and describe melanin scientifically. And that change happens right now. So let's go.
I've been to quite a few and I've heard Leon talk at other events, and as usual you do come away learning something.
Listen, I am fully energized.
That is brilliant. It's just so informative, mind-blowing. It's something that, you know, it's just put me on a journey of knowing thyself. It's just fantastic.
Yes, family. Big up everyone who's tuned in right now. We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, I used to run this podcast. I started it in 2021, or maybe the end of 2020. Quite a long time ago now. And we was running them on a monthly basis. The first of each month, I used to run them. And yeah, around that time, there was still the pandemic, there was still COVID and all that sort of stuff. And so, yeah, the powers that be must have got wind of what I was talking about and done everything in their power to stop it. Attack my website. Like, if you guys actually knew, like, there's certain things I don't even really share, but if you guys knew the attacks that they had on the Hidden Science Academy, had on myself around that time, 2020, 2021, you wouldn't believe. They'd do things like infiltrate my website, go into my server and delete videos off of my server. I'll never forget, I used to go to my web designer and be like, hey, that video that we just uploaded yesterday, where is it? It's like, what do you mean, where is it? It's not on the server no more. they'd literally delete videos off of my server. So yeah, and there was a point, I must admit, there was a point where I was just like, frig this, man, I ain't doing this no more. It's too much. But because of you guys, the support of people that have been supporting me and supporting the Hidden Science Academy over the years, I said, nah, man, this information is too important. The message is too important. We need to continue to do this and get it out there. Because for those of you who have been following me, you know I believe that melanin is the elephant in the room. That's why I wrote this book, The Hidden Science of Melanin. Because I believe it's the elephant in every room, especially the scientific room, the laboratory. They don't like to talk about melanin in science, but in everything. In politics, they don't like to talk about it. And if you've read the ISIS papers by Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, you'll know that she believes it's because of melanin that we have racism. And their fear of genetic annihilation. That's the reason why they go so hard at the black men. Black men could literally wipe them off this planet, and not with a gun. But these are things that we're going to discuss each week now. I've made this a weekly thing now. So I want, and to be fair, it used to be more of a class. We still will be teaching, but anything that's out there in the news that relates to melanated folks, we can discuss. So if you guys got any questions or queries, doesn't have to be specifically on the topic that we're going to be talking about today, whatever, you guys raise your hand when I open up the forum and you guys ask your questions and that sort of stuff. Yeah, because things are about to get deep, man. You know, in the UK they're looking to do this BritCard thing. We got to talk about that. Got to talk about when the next pandemic is going to happen, because it's happening, family. It's coming. So there's a lot to talk about. Yeah, but to start off with, I want to share something with the family. When I started to tell people that, you know, they've been attacking my website and they've been trying to take down my videos and delete my videos and all that sort of stuff, a lot of people were surprised. If you know who you're dealing with, though, I call them the usual suspects. If you know about the usual suspects, you know that this ain't surprising at all. Nothing surprising at all. You know what I mean? But I did a post in one of my WhatsApp groups, and big up brother Joe. Brother Joe replied, and he said something along the lines of, why do they hate us so much? Let me see if I can find that, because I screenshotted it. Check this out. Yeah, he said, why do these people fear black people so much? And I replied, I'm going to discuss this in detail on Sunday. Why do they fear us so much? Why do they fear melanin so much? Why do they fear black people so much? Yeah. Now let's discuss that. Let's go into that a little bit deeper. Now on TikTok, there was a white woman. I don't know where she's originally from, but to me, she's just white. And she was talking about, she thinks there's something else to do with black people, why, you know, society goes so hard at black people. She thinks there's something else. She's like, it can't just be because of the color of their skin. Listen to this.
I don't mean to say this like to be disrespectful, and maybe this is, some people are gonna think this sounds dumb, but I feel like there's a deeper reason why, you know, people of color and specifically the black community have been relentlessly persecuted. Like, I mean, just the things that happened during slavery alone, like, were insane. But I don't know, the more I learn about black history and the ways that, you know, people who literally worked in the government, like the CIA, all these different people in power were trying to ruin the black community. And it makes me think, dude, I feel like, is there something more going on here than just racism? Because it's like, come on, you're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color? I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have
What if black people have some type of superpower? Hmm. And let's not get it twisted. She ain't the only one that thinks like this, because most people with common sense will be like, why do these people go so hard at black people? Why do they go so hard? They're the only people that they go so hard at like this. What is it with black people? Do they have some type of superpower?
I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have, I don't know, if they're just born something with something very valuable that we don't really know about, but maybe, you know, like I said, these people, these rich people and these people in power, maybe they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to, like, get rid of them, blah blah blah. I don't know, I feel
Figured it out a long time ago. You know, like when they went into Africa, when we had the empires, ancient Egypt, and they were like, who the hell built all this stuff? These dark-skinned black Africans? Hell no. I wonder. She don't even know she don't even know history, but she's like, oh, but she's putting two and two together. There must be something else. It can't just be because of the color of their skin.
they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to, like, get rid of them, blah blah blah. I don't know, I feel like maybe they have something special that we are not taught about, that is linked to them being people of color, you know? And I've seen some black creators come on here and try to explain how special it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties, but
Yes, that is the superpower. That is the elephant in the room. That is what people don't want to discuss, because that is the superpower.
it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties, but
And not just in your skin, because again, she don't know the science behind melanin. Melanin is in every cell of your body. Melanin is in every organ. It's in your blood. That's the reason why they're forever begging black people for our blood. Notice they don't beg anyone else for their blood. Oh yeah, it's because of sickle cell sufferers. Ask sickle cell sufferers if they're receiving good treatment. They'll tell you no. So they keep on saying, oh, we need your blood because, you know, we need a match, and sickle cell sufferers. It's never for that. They use your blood and inject it into billionaires and do all types of madness with your blood. You know why? Because of the melanin in it.
is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties, but I don't know, I just feel like I feel like this, I have this theory that this goes so much deeper than maybe a lot of us realize, because I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna go out of your way for all these hundreds and hundreds of years to try to ruin one group of people over something as silly as, oh, their skin is a different color. Like, I feel like there's something that we don't know. I'm telling you, there's something special about them that they don't want us to know.
What does the family think about that? Now, again, this is the reason why I wrote the book, so everyone can understand melanin, the true science of melanin. And in my book, I do have images as well to make it easier for people to understand the science. So this is an image from my book, and it shows that everyone has melanin. There's two main types of skin melanin, eumelanin and pheomelanin. And like Freddie just posted, we have the dominant gene. So yeah, eumelanin is more dominant, which means that it can absorb more of the electromagnetic spectrum. In other words, light. It can absorb more light than pheomelanin. Pheomelanin actually struggles to absorb light. Eumelanin can absorb nearly all aspects of the electromagnetic spectrum. In other words, all different types of light. Infrared light, high visible light, whether it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, all from the sun, ultraviolet, and then yeah, melanin can even absorb radiation like X-rays and that sort of stuff. That's the reason why when we do have X-rays, talk to someone who's in the NHS, they'll say things like, oh yeah, we got to turn up the radiation with black folks and that sort of stuff just to try and penetrate. So she's onto something. You know what I mean? She's putting two and two together, but trust me, she's not the only non-black person that thinks like that. It can't just be because of the color of your skin. And I hate when people say, oh, yeah, they hate us because of the color of our skin. No, the color of your skin represents what's going on underneath your skin. The color of your skin represents something. It represents something. It actually represents your power. It's not the skin that's the power. It's the color of your skin represents something about you. And they know that, and you don't know that. That's what's crazy. They seem to know more about melanin than we do, which is nuts. They study it more than we do. Now, how does this relate to what we're going to be talking about today with regards to transhumanism and, you know, BritCard and pandemic and all that sort of stuff? Well, again, melanin is the elephant in the room. So when it comes on to everything that you're seeing in the news these days, trust me, there's a link to melanin. And I'm talking about every day, like nowadays, but the stuff that people are starting to put two and two together with regards to melanin, a lot of us understood this from years ago. It can't just be the color of our skin. You're starting to see, you know, social media, women doing things with their lips, women doing things with their body, with their bum. The elephant is the room is these women are trying to look black or trying to look like a black woman. Do you get what I'm saying? Darken up their skin, tan up their skin, plump up their lips, BBLs and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you're trying to look like a curvaceous black woman. And just the psyche of that we live in a system of white supremacy. We live in a system where whiteness is valued, but yet these white people want to be black. Listen to what this young sis said back in '93 and see how it still rings true today.
Your white skin is so beautiful. Why do you go to the beach and burn yourself to a crisp trying to get brown if it's so wonderful to be white? And if you love your thin lips, why are you going to the doctor getting collagen injected and telling me my lips are too big? Don't, you know, that's my thing. That trips me out. Whenever, you know, white girls come to me, oh, your butt is so big. And it's like, well, why do you go get on that stair stepper at Holiday Health Spa trying to get your butt as big as mine? And being white is so wonderful. I don't understand why all these white teenagers don't stay white.
All these white teenagers don't stay white. Yeah, stay white. Do you get me? Trying to get your big ass and big lips. Stay white, man. Whiteness is the value. Whiteness is the default. But again, if we're all just tiptoeing around the elephant in the room, no one's going to know the truth about melanin. No one's going to know the truth. So we're all confused. Yeah. But the scientific community, they study this thing. I'd say it's the #1 thing they study in science is melanin and how it relates to everything. Because again, melanin, people like to say melanin blocks sunlight. Melanin absorbs light and then converts it into energy. Now, can you imagine how if you was a scientist, how you'd want to use that energy, use that melanin to convert it into some type of energy for your own gain? Listen to this.
They told us melanin was just skin deep. They even used it to justify racism. But here's the shocker. Science now says melanin might be the most valuable technology in the world. From powering solar cells, to shielding astronauts from radiation, to treating cancer and even building next-gen electronics, melanin is the future. The same pigment they despised is now the resource they can't live without. Melanin, the pigment that makes our skin, hair, and eyes dark, has properties scientists are racing to understand. Why? Because it can do things that modern technology struggles with. First, energy. Melanin absorbs a broad spectrum of light and converts it efficiently, making it a natural candidate for solar cells and eco-friendly batteries. Second, protection. It naturally shields against harmful UV rays and radiation. The U.S. Navy has even sent melanin-producing microbes to space to explore radiation-resistant coatings for astronauts. Third, medical innovation. Melanin-based nanoparticles are being tested for cancer therapies.
Listen to this, family. Melanin-based nanoparticles Nanoparticles just means very, very tiny particles. Listen.
Innovation. Melanin-based nanoparticles are being tested for cancer therapies, drug delivery, and imaging because it's biocompatible and non-toxic. Imagine medicine that works with your body instead of fighting it. Fourth, electronics.
So just so you understand that, they're already doing it. But these melanin nanoparticles that they get inside of you, because melanin can convert light into electricity, in other words, electronics, these nanoparticles can be somewhat controlled electronically inside of you. And then what they're saying is that they can use that to diagnose disease and treat you and that sort of stuff. This is the stuff that they're doing with our melanin family.
Medicine that works with your body instead of fighting it. Fourth, electronics. Researchers found ways to boost melanin's conductivity 1 billion times, turning a natural pigment into a potential bioelectronic supermaterial. Think implants, wearable tech, or even brain-computer interfaces powered by what's already in us.
Now, we are going to be talking about transhumanism today, so just listen to what they just said at the end there, yeah? What they're going to start doing with these melanin nanoparticles inside of people.
1 billion times, turning a natural pigment into a potential bioelectronic supermaterial. Think implants, wearable tech, or even brain-computer interfaces powered by what's already in us. Here's the irony. The same pigment that has been used for centuries to mark blackness as less than is now at the center of future technology. So let me ask you, what does it say that the very thing used to oppress us is turning out to be one of the most valuable resources on the planet?
One of the most, you could argue the most valuable, yeah? Like my mentor said, Dr. Lalila Africa, he said, melanin is the chemical key to life. Without melanin, there's no life. That's how important this thing is. Now, how does this relate to the BritCard stuff? Can we get deep tonight, family? Now, for those of you who don't know, they're looking to release these apps that they call a BritCard, where it's going to have all your information on it and that sort of stuff. But this little AI video kind of predicts what's going to happen in the future if people go with this BritCard foolishness.
Can I get another pint, please?
Sorry, sir. Your BritCard says you've exceeded your alcohol quota for this week.
Sorry, sir. Your BritCard says you've already flown twice this year. We're having to restrict passengers with higher than average emissions profiles.
Sorry, I'm afraid your funds have been temporarily frozen. Your recent social media post did not align with the government's narrative.
Sorry, I'm afraid your BritCard says you cannot purchase any more meat this week as part of our commitment to achieving net zero.
All right, so let's get a little bit deep, yeah? I've said this before, but I believe the next pandemic is going to be a digital one. The next pandemic is going to be a digital one. And it's going to be something along the lines of, there's a virus, you know, like there was before, like the last pandemic. There's a virus that came out of nowhere. This time, though, the virus is going to be on the internet. And because, you know, a lot of people are going to go with these digital ID stuff, everyone's life is going to be on the internet. It's going to be digital. Now, if there's a virus on the internet, they're going to have to wipe things. They're going to have to do things, you know, quarantine or make up some foolishness that they're going to have to do on the internet. That is going to mess up a lot of people's lives who rely on their digital IDs to live life. Do you get what I'm saying? And I truly believe that it's going to happen before 2030. 2030 is when the change has happened. That's when they making sure that the full digital ID change, cashless society, whatever they're planning, 2030 is when it's all complete. So the next pandemic will happen before 2030. Mark my words, there will be some form of crisis. Yeah. So we need to be aware of these things. Now, when it comes onto the digital ID stuff, the BritCard is going to be an app that you're using on your phone. But make no mistake, they are trying to make the digital ID. they're trying to make you the digital ID. Now, those of you who have been following me for a little while, back in 2020, I was talking about this in 2019, but back in 2020, I was talking about transhumanism on my white supremacy course. I was talking about it and how this is the future, this is what they're looking to do, and that sort of stuff. So for those of you who are not familiar with what transhumanism is, here's a definition that I've found online. Transhumanism is an international cultural and intellectual movement with an eventual goal of fundamentally transforming the human condition by developing and making widely available technologies to greatly enhance human intellectual, physical, and psychological capacities. Now, I just found that online. Like I always say when it comes onto science, when these people are explaining something, they always explain it in a very complex way. They don't make things simple, and they do that on purpose. Yeah, they make things so complicated to understand and that sort of stuff. So even when you read that, it makes no frigging sense. What is transhumanism? So to make it easier for everyone to understand, transhumanism is them trying to make humans into robots, basically. Humans into electronics, basically. Yeah. So this is where they see the future going. This is evolution to them, where the human now becomes, you know, some form of electronic device. The human becomes an electronic device. Yeah. And we're getting there. We've gone from holding the phone, holding the electronic devices, to now wearing electronic devices. A lot of us will wear them. I'm sure, you know, the smart glasses are going to get popular once people start buying them. So you'll be able to, I don't know, talk to people with your glasses on, or watch videos with your glasses on, all that sort of foolishness. And then twos, these electronic devices not only will be on you, in other words, you'll be wearing them, then all of a sudden they'll be in you. So they're looking to go from you wearing the electronic device to you becoming the electronic device. And it already started. So whoever took the vaccine, I hate to break it to you, but that was software that they were installing into you. And again, I was talking about this back then. That's probably the reason why they came so hard at me, because they were like, how does this guy know? But I was talking about this back then, like, yeah, all the nanoparticle stuff. When you take that vaccine, there's pure nanoparticles in you now, metal nanoparticles, all this sort of stuff. And they're going to try and get to a point where they can control you electronically, control you the same way they control our phones. The other day, weren't there an emergency alert on everyone's phone? They have control of everyone's phone. Can you imagine? They have control of everyone's phone. Now they're going to try and put that same type of software in you and control you. And for those that don't believe me, look at this. These videos were coming out left, right, and center around the time that people were having the vaccines, but people were realizing, rah, hold on a second. Now that I've taken the vaccine, there's a couple strange things that I've been noticing. Watch this.
I was not feeling so good on Thursday. I had to take the day off.
Does it hurt? Like, what is that really what they say it is? Like on TikTok?
Yeah, it didn't hurt, but I got a fever and chills and stuff like that. I wasn't feeling too good.
No way.
Yeah. and a little bit sore, but now it's good. Now it's good. It's last week. The only problem is that everywhere I go, everything is trying to connect to me, man. Like Bluetooth connectivity.
What do you mean?
I got Bluetooth connectivity. I get in the car, my car is trying to connect to me. I go home, or my computer is trying to connect. Like my phone is trying to connect. Like everything all the time.
How do you know they're trying to connect to you? Like
because I keep getting this bloody notification. Check this out. Everywhere I go, I keep getting this notification all the time. It's nuts.
You're with AstraZeneca? What the fuck?
yeah. So I keep saying cancel. No.
Hey, what happens if you connect to it?
I don't know, man. I didn't try it. I'm scared.
Hey, everyone is asking how you're doing.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's not me that they're asking about. It's you. Are you feeling okay? What about the connectivity? How is that working?
The connectivity is still there, man. I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah?
Yeah. Check this out. See that TV over there?
Yeah?
Okay, if I walk up to it, it's gonna try and connect to me. Watch this.
That's a cow, man. Let me see.
There it is. What? Yeah. Everywhere I get the same message.
And this is already happening in certain places. Anyone who knows about the places that they're doing that, where they've got chips in people's hands, is it Japan? Let me know in the chat, family, if you know of places where people are using like their hand to travel, or there's one next place where they're doing it where you can walk into like I think it's like an Amazon fresh shop, and you don't have any money, and you can use your hand to buy things and all that sort of stuff. Someone said here in London. Really? You can do that in London. You can pay for stuff with your hand. Scandinavia, Sweden. Yeah, this is happening, family. And the thing is, some of us will be like, nah, I'm not going to allow that to happen to me. But now we don't know. Like, if you've had a vaccine, obviously in the last 5 years, then it's already happening. They're already trying to change you and make you transhuman. Do you understand? And here's the thing, because this agenda is so strong, I don't believe them with anything now. Because I'm sure some of you have seen online where Bill Gates, he's buying up enough land in America, and he's changing the crops and changing the seeds and that sort of stuff. And I'm sure some of you might have seen videos where they're saying they're putting the vaccine in foods now. If they can't vaccinate people, they'll just put it in foods and you just consume it that way. Yeah, because what they want you to consume is these nanoparticles. What they want you to consume is these nanoparticles. And this just shows you how tiny they are. They are tiny, tiny nanoparticles. Yeah. This is just one example made by Hitachi. Look how small they are. They have GPS capabilities. So these people will know exactly where you are all the time, just like they already do with your phone, obviously. And they're called smart dust, as they can be sprayed on us, absorbed, or taken in foods and drinks, or injected. So this is it with this transhumanism thing. They're trying to get this stuff in us. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the majority of us will still have our phones. So the people who are going with the BritCard thing, you'll get them with the app, because they'll have the app on them. But my gosh, if they can pull this off and make you the app, like instead of you walking with the app, they literally try to make you the app. Oh my gosh, it's over for you. It is over for you. Do you understand? People are scared about they're gonna have their bank accounts shut down and all this. Oh, if I don't comply, they might lock me out of my own bank account and I can't get my money and all that. They could lock you off if you guys continue to follow this full narrative. They'll just press a button and do twos and you've turned off. Do you understand? And they're making these melanin batteries. And this is stuff that I've been talking about for 5 years, family. Put a one in the chat if you know I've been talking about this for damn near over 5 years, these melanin batteries. Yeah. This is one of the scientists. His name's Christopher Bettinger. And it says here, Christopher Bettinger, PhD, is developing an edible battery. And this was 5 years ago. This was 2019. So obviously he's developed it and that sort of stuff. Made with melanin and dissolvable material. Yeah. Battery you can swallow could enable future ingestible medical devices. Now look how, and it's a melanin battery. Look how happy this brother is to have melanin on his tongue. Look how happy. Do you understand? Non-toxic edible batteries could one day power ingestible devices for diagnosing and treating disease. One team reports new progress toward the goal with their batteries made with melanin pigments naturally found in skin, hair, and eyes. And listen to the man.
Components of an
So this is the brother. Listen to his own words.
Important components of an ingestible battery. And so our broader vision for this work is really thinking about batteries as they exist today and making them application specific for edible electronics. And so specifically what we've discovered is that we can use melanin pigments. These are the same pigments in your hair, in your skin, and your eyes as components for these ingestible batteries. And so these have significant advantages over existing batteries because they're designed for this purpose. So we've basically one by one replaced the potentially toxic components of a battery with that of benign endogenous materials within the human body.
So Question, where are they going to get this melanin from to create these melanin batteries and all of this melanin nanoparticle? Where is all this stuff going to come from? This is why I'm not big on us just giving them our DNA. You know, people say, oh, you go for a DNA test. I'm not a fan because, again, our DNA, our blood is like gold to them. So every time we go to them and we donate blood, we're literally giving them gold. Like we're literally giving them wealth. Here you go. Just take this wealth and don't give me nothing in return. Yeah, just take my wealth. Yeah. And DNA tests and all that sort of stuff. You're just giving them exactly what they want. They're like, cha-ching, these people are actually going to give it to us for free. This is the reason why I'm hoping people will start to put two and two together when it comes onto this more likely to narrative. This is another thing that I've been talking about for 5 years. The black people are more likely to narrative. Yeah. Every time you see in the news, black women are 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy and childbirth than white women. And we run with it. Oh my gosh, do you know that black women are 4 times? No. One thing I want the family to do from here on out, I'm sure most of the family do it anyway, but from here on out, please, family, just do one thing for me. And that is never believe the official narrative. Never. When a story comes out, never believe the official narrative. Whatever the story is, by the way, I'm not just talking about black people are more likely to, they're saying black men are more likely to die from prostate cancer. Never believe the official narrative because you're dealing with people who historically and habitually lie to us about everything. So never believe the official story, the official narrative. Black people are more likely to die from this, that, and the third. No, we're not. You start studying science, you start to realize that white people are more likely to die from all of these diseases. They don't put that story out there though, do they? They don't put that story. And when you start putting two and two together and just using simple logic, of course they're more likely to die. They don't have melanin. Melanin is the chemical key to life. So therefore, if the whole society is sick, let's say from some unknown virus, some COVID, then guess who's going to be dying more from it? White people. This is not Leo Marshall's opinion. This is science. Melanin is going to keep black people alive until it can't. Obviously, melanin is going to try hard to keep black people alive. But when it comes on to this more likely to narrative, they put it out there and then we run with it. Can't tell you how many black men run with black men, we're more likely to die from prostate cancer. Go get tested. Go get tested. What do you think they're going to do when they take your DNA? When you go get tested, biopsies and all that, and they're scraping out stuff out of you. What do you think they're going to do? The same thing they did with Henrietta Lacks. What did they do with Henrietta Lacks? All types of experiments and used her cells for this, that, and the third. What do you think they're doing with black women's cells when they go in there with their pregnant self and they take their placenta, which is full of stem cells, take this, take that. Do you get me? The black woman dies. Oh no, more DNA, more cells for us, more stem cells for us, more wealth. You're probably worth more dead than you are alive. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but most black people, not most, all black people are worth more dead than alive because of the amount of stuff that it could do with your cells, tissues, organs, stem cells. Do you get me? But yeah, a lot we can go into. But before I go any further, are there any questions or comments? Let me open up the forum, get some people participating. So raise your hand if you want to speak, yeah, about anything. It doesn't have to be on the subject, but yeah, raise your hand if you want to say a word. And raise your hand if you've got any questions. All right, so Donna, you've got your hand raised. Oh, you did have your hand raised, sorry. So how do we swerve this and still be able to have at least the basics to live? Good question. All right, so yeah, let me get my bro. Power of consent. Raise your hand, bro. Let's get my bro Power of Consent on. Yeah, so we can talk this thing because people are like, oh, so what can we do? You know, this is going to happen. So what can we do as a family? Where you at, bro? Raise your hand. Can't see you. There you are. Yeah, bro. Let me bring my bro in.
Yeah, yes, Kingos. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you, bro?
I'm great, I'm just, big up yourself for the breakdown that you gave on the biometric data that they're trying to harvest from us.
Jeez, talk to me.
And the stages that they're doing it. People saying, oh, yeah, it's not going to happen. No, it's already happening. You go to the airport, they already got your data in terms of biometrics. Those of us who use iPhones, some of us use iRetina scan, fingerprint. They are getting and collecting the data. The danger is now all of this data is going to be in one place in Basildon, East London, to the tune of 1.5 billion, led by Tony Blair's son, Ewan Blair, who is the chief executive officer of BritCard.
And that's why Tony Blair's pushing the BritCard thing so hard, family.
It's business, family. It's business. Nothing to do with law. We've got to ask ourselves this question. And thank you so much, Brother Leon Marshall, on the behalf of everyone at the Power of Consent. Big up everyone that's in the chat and here tonight. This is so important.
Yes, sir.
You see what it is? This is business. This is nothing to do with law, nothing to do with legislation, green paper, white paper through Parliament. Keir Starmer, who is a friend of Jimmy Savile. Keir Starmer, who was the Crown Prosecution Service head at the time they oversaw the Jimmy Savile incident. He said, and I paraphrase, he didn't know anything of that nature going through the courts. Liar. Liar, your pants are on fire, Mr. Keir Starmer. And as you can see what's happening, he's pushing it under Labour. But as you said, Tony Blair's pushing it because his son is the vested business partner involved. Now, family, a lot of us are thinking, okay, what's the solution? How do I go about the business of protecting my data? First, what is data? Data is you. It's your memory. It's information. It's what you like. It's what you love. So the algorithms, the comments, the likes that you put on the Instagram, the TikTok that takes away our life, TikTok, the Facebook that is getting an account on their book. Yeah, they are collecting data and they want to be God. Just like the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, they want to now set up the 15-minute cities where there'll be border control like Hunger Games, the movie, or Running Man. These films, family, are all predictive programming funded by DARPA, which is a department of the Pentagon. Yeah, they release technology and ideas like the movie Contagion 2011, where it was written in 2011 by a man called Stephen Burns, who was given consultancy by the Central Intelligence Agency. Go and Google that now. Stephen Burns, the writer of Contagion, was given knowledge on what he should put in his script. So look, follow me now. Follow me. Data. How do we protect it? The first thing that was, I wish I could show this slideshow that I got, a real quick one. But the first thing they need is your name. They need your straw man, your straw woman, your legal fiction. They need our legal fictions. So when they call us, for example, enforcement, they'll say, hello, is Tony Robinson there, please? What do? We say yes. What does the vampires do? As we were showing Sinners. Knock, knock. Can I come in? What is the vampire rule? Don't let the vampire in. Because once they're in, they can take whatever they want.
Right.
So what we're suggesting is people need to trademark their names. Trademark and register your names. Why trademark and register your name? Because there's a copyright trademark infringement law that is in existence that if anyone breaches those trademark laws, then you can sue them for compensation. Because right now we're in the law of commerce. Commerce, which means the law of admiralty, the law of the sea. And we're all assumed dead at sea. Why are we dead at sea? Because we are co-signing to our names, our legal fictions, our birth certificates, which was which is 1666, goes back to the Great Five, 1666. Excuse me. So as long as we co-sign to our birth certificates, our legal fictions, and our names, then we are no longer the beneficiary. We are the trustees of our names, of our secret accounts, of our national insurance numbers. What we need to do is become beneficiaries as living men and living women and stop living in the sea of commerce. There's a reason why it's called currency. There's a reason why it's called cash flow. There's a reason why a battery is you call it cells. You put someone in a prison cell and you charge them. That's the language that the police use, who, by the way, are a corporation. We are living in a corporation called the United Kingdom. But notice it's not called the United Kingdom card. It's called the BritCard. Why BritCard? Because the term Britain means covenant in Hebrew. It's Judeo-Christian terminology that they use to describe the land of the covenant. This is Jewish land originally before it was Anglo-Saxon land. Britain is not a country. The United Kingdom is not a country, it's a corporation. What we live in is in a set of independent countries known as England, Scotland, and Wales. That's why there's different legislations for different countries. So why are they calling it BritCard? Because they want to re-sign a new contract, maritime commerce contract with living men and women. So what we have to do is own our property, our names, protect it, look at the Independent Commission's office, which governs data protection laws and also helps people get compensation for data breaches, because data breaches are happening all the time. When you sign up to a subscription, you're subbing, which means to go under, submarine, servant. When you subscribe, you're going under someone's contract. No one owns anything. We are subbing now. We are not owners anymore. We are registered keepers. Look on your V5 form. For those of you that travel or use cars, you are known as a registered keeper, not owner. The DVLA say, well, this document don't mean that you are the owner. And that's why now, even with DVLA driver's license cards, that's going to be digital. Passports, everything fully digital.
Everything's going
and
digital.
Notice in the actual BritCard, it says it's for those who are seeking employment. Once you become a registered company owner of your name, you are no longer an employee looking for employment, because the word employment means slavery. You are self-employed. Self-employed means you go and do commerce and track contracts under your own intelligence. You are now competent. You are not an imbecile, because we're seen as imbeciles who can't take care of our own estates.
Yeah, bro.
So we must
what you're saying
as melanated people.
What you're saying is deep, and I know a lot of people, they'll be hearing this for the first time and be like, it might be overwhelming for them.
Sorry.
So just to let the family know that this is the type of stuff that we're going to be letting the family in on our coming events. We've got an event next Saturday, the Hidden Science of Black Women's Health. My brother's going to be there. He's going to be dropping this science, and definitely at the Black Men's Health event, which is next month in November. So for those of you who are like, oh man, this information is so powerful, yeah, if you can, come down to these events, man. Speak to the brother, speak to myself. Like, this is very important for us to own our own data.
Come on.
Own our own data, and not just the external data, like, like our name and that sort of stuff. But like you said, you are the data. So your melanin is the data, your DNA is the data. Women, you see, when you go into the hospitals, see if you can take back your placenta. It's going to be a bit of a fight, but that is your data.
That's right.
That is data. You need to take back your own data. Yeah. And you have every right to have access to your own data. Something that you taught me about, bro, and it's been a life changer. Yeah. Is the data subject access request.
Come on.
Oh my days. Family. We need to do a webinar on that.
This Thursday, we're going to do a book club on that. It's called a subject access request. They changed it from data subject access request to SARS, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? The word magic.
Yeah, the word
Subject
magic.
access request. See, we're seen as the king's subjects. That's why they removed the term data. They want to put us more under their jurisdiction. When you do a subject access request, family, you can go to any local government, your council, Lucian, Bromley, and all those, and ask them for a subject access request and see how they've been handling your data. If there's been any breaches, you can bring compensation to the tune of 5,000 to a maximum of 100,000. If you are a company now, if you have registered, trademarked your name, like Blue Ivy, Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, they have now copyrighted Blue Ivy. Anyone that uses the name Blue Ivy or a Leon Marshall or a Courtney Winston or any name without your permission and expressed consent, you can sue for compensation. This is what the top people do, family. They don't, look, we got to understand things about, I know this, I'm saying a lot, but we've got to understand things like trust law. How to build an irrevocable or revocable trust, which is more powerful than having life insurance. You become a banking institution within your own self. We use the term bank. Bank is something that holds water. You have river bank. Yeah, they hold, also in banks, they hold money, which they really don't hold fiat cash currency. They hold data. Family, we are the money. We are the cash flow. You are the money. You are rich already. Without us, like the Matrix, the battery was used to describe the people, to turn people into a battery, right? So yes, subject access requests, go ahead and ask your councils how they've been handling your data with regards to debt enforcement, regards to anything, council tax. We go into that on our courses and book club, and Leon has been a very illustrious guest of ours he's come on book club, and he's broken down some science, and I can't wait to hear some more science from the good brother Leon Marshall.
Big up, my bro, and post that information about your Thursday book club in the chat so people can join and that sort of stuff.
Got
Do you get me? Because that's going to be big for the family to know about that. The subject access request, it changed everything for me, boy. Because when I started, once I knew about that, where I can ask any company what data they have on me, oh my gosh. Yes. I started flinging out pure subject access requests, and these people are sweating because by law they have to give you, they have to share what data they have on you. Once you do this subject access request, they have to share what data they have on you. And
that's right.
The fact of the matter is, these people, they know they're doing nefarious stuff. They know they're doing stuff that breaches GDPR and all that sort of stuff. But because people don't know and people don't ask for subject access requests, people don't realize how important their data is. These people take the absolute mick with our data.
Wow, brother.
You understand?
Brother, you just hit a point, a nail on the head right there. Did you know these petitions who got the petition, by the way?
Talk to them, family.
Who got the petition, by the way?
Yeah.
Who got their petition? Family,
them,
if you go to the petition website, oh my God, brother Leon Marshall King, did you know if people were to go to the petition website, you'll see it's climbing up to 3 million, yeah?
3 million.
3 million. I've just posted it in the chat. Brother, here is the danger, family. Hold on now. It says petitions UK government and parliament do not introduce digital ID cards. We demand that the UK government, not Britain, see, immediately commits to not introducing the digital ID cards. There are reports that this is being looked at. Now, they got a map where people signed away their data for the petition. They've got an email for you to sign away your data. They want your name, your location, and your postcode. What is that, family? That's you and I giving away our data.
We just give away our data. We don't realize it. That's why the sinners breakdown, bro. It has to, tell people about your sinners breakdown as well, because that's basically what we do. Every time we give them our data, we're saying, yeah, come into the juke joint. Yeah, you can come in. Do you understand?
Facts. And the thing is, the word petition in the language of the legal society, which is in Black's Laws Dictionary, you can get it 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th edition. Language is so important, family. Stay with me. Now, one word in the English language can mean 3 different things. You've got 3 different types of language in the English language, and Kevin Bennett breaks this down. You've got common language, which we use. Second, you've got received pronunciation or the King's English. Then the third language is the tricky language, which is called legalese. Legalese. Now, if I look up the word petition in the Oxford Dictionary, it would say to ask for something. However, if I put petition in Black's Law's Dictionary and look it up, guess what it says? It means to beg. To beg. To supplicate. Yeah, we can even get in the word register and application. Point is, we're begging the UK government not to give us something. They said they don't even have to discuss it in Parliament. They said we might consider, and it says this on their platform, we may consider this to be spoken about in Parliament if it goes over 100,000 signatures. And consider to talk is where you get the word parler, French word, which means to talk, to chat. Going into Sinners now, you notice that Remick, the vampire character who's from Ireland, and there's a reason why Ryan Coogler made the character Remick from Ireland, because we have ancient history in Ireland as well as the Black Celts in Dublin and in Cork. And that's why there's a reason why those in Ireland sound very similar to those in Montserrat, Barbados, and Jamaica. Why? Because during the Cromwellian, during Oliver Cromwell of the 16th century, he deported people out of Ireland. And guess what? Many of them were Black. Many of them were melanated people. And today in Montserrat, you've got an island of Black people who speak Irish, the Black Irish. Go and check out J.A. Rogers or Ivan Van Sertima's book on ancient Black Britons. So we have a stake here. There's allegedly, King James was a Black king, allegedly, and was the one that brought around the Union Jack. I mean, that's another point. But in the film anyway, you will notice that Remick, he says, we are hungry as dogs. Wolf, wolf, let us in. Now, you know, in slavery, they sicked dogs onto Black people that would literally tear us apart, just like as you see in the movie Django. And also, Remick, you'll find that there's 3 vampires that turn up at the juke joint. The 3 vampires represent the 3 magistrate judges that preside over council tax and affairs to deal with administration and making money. 3 is the magic number. 3 vultures at the very beginning of Sinners. 3 vultures, why? Because they represent culture vultures. They represent parasites. They represent mosquitoes or pesticides that are inside of us as well. When you look at the nature of the pesticides of the worms, they want to take away from you. When you look at the nature of the mosquito, they want to suck blood out of you. And notice that mosquitoes are attracted to the color blue as well. We go into that as to why Annie, the Black sister, hoodoo sister, she wears a deep blue, and Smoke wears blue, and why the Stack wear red. What does red represent? Why is it that the NHS use the color blue? Corporation colors are blue. Facebook, Instagram, NHS, blue chip companies, because cooperations represent dead. The dead oration, the dead body. That's why they call it a corpse. Corpse. Yeah? Coming to the juke joint. Listen, we're going to get deeper into that. We're going to break down the math of it and what it means. And that's going to be the 30th of October, by the way.
Yeah, put that in the chat. Let people know about that as well. That's going to be big. That's going to be big. And Marcia just put in the chat, FYI, individuals can make subject access requests verbally or in writing.
Always better to do it in writing.
Yeah, always better to do it in writing. You want to have a record of your subject access request. And what happens is when you make a subject access request, they've got a month to respond.
That's right.
Yeah, they have a month to respond. And then, yeah, they have to give you, and if you don't know how to put together a subject access request, use ChatGPT or something like that, and it will give you like a template that you can use. And and the template is good. I've used one of their templates, and it asks all the right questions, like, what are you processing my data? Have you shared my data with any third parties? Oh my gosh, the way these people are sweating, because they have to respond. Yeah, they have to respond. And you're not accusing them or anything. You're just asking questions. You're literally saying, do you have my data, and what data of mine do you have? Do you know what I'm saying? Use it for car parking tickets and all that sort of stuff. What data do you have? How long Are you gonna hold on to my data? Is there anything that I can do to, you know,
Yep.
release the data? All those sort of questions there.
Yes, sir. And that's why in Scotland you have a different law for statutory bar of limitations and for credit. That's why every country is its own independent nation in its own self. Wales has its flag. England has a flag. The St. George's flag, which is not from here. Then you have the Scottish flag as well. So those flags are different jurisdictions. Scotland has an entirely different jurisdiction when it comes to car insurance, PCNs. So that's why some wise people register their company outside of England. Wink, wink. Yeah. That's why you have Scottish guards outside Buckingham Palace. You have Scotland Yard in London. There's a term they're using language to kind of change the goalposts, and then when they want to swap jurisdictions and so forth. That's why they can't call it Britain, because Britain covers the realms. It goes deep.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to go into that in more detail at the Black Men's Health event, family. So make sure you get your tickets for that. Donna was asking, have I claimed any from any company using the data subject access request? No, I'm in the process of just gathering the data that they have on me from a lot of companies, including the council. 2 councils. I've asked them for data subject access requests, and I want to know what data they've got on me. So, and let me tell you something. These people are tricky.
Come on.
I done a data subject access request to Croydon Council, yeah? Croydon Council. And I know they've got my data. I know they're processing my data. I wanted to know everything about like all the data that they've got on me, yeah? I sent them my information. I sent them my driving license, utility bill, because that's what they say you need to have to tell people what to verify your ID, basically. And I gave them my date of birth and all that sort of stuff. Then they responded and said, we don't have any data on you. We've checked our database and we don't have any data on you. Yeah. I was like, how is that the case? When I went into, because they give you like this secret, they give you like a password to access, to access their portal. When I went into their portal now, and I looked at, because obviously they have to have a record of my email, what I sent to them. I look at their record of what I sent to them, and they changed my date of birth.
Wow. Brother, that's not you no more.
They changed my date of birth. So basically what they're saying was, based on this date of birth, this person, we don't have any data on them. That was their way of trying to wiggle it. I was like, no, I caught that. So I sent them another one saying, no, based on this, I didn't even mention the fact that they got my date of birth wrong. I said, based on this information, can you check again and see if you're processing my data? They try to say that they're not processing my data, but they try to change what data I gave them just so they can turn around and say, no, that ID doesn't exist on our database.
Wow.
These people are tricky, mate. I'm telling you.
Very, very, brother. You see that there? And you know what? By the way, this is what we call the legal fiction. The first things they need to establish a contract between the paper version of you, that's what we call a straw man, and the living man or woman, is that they need the living man or woman to confirm date of birth, name and address, first and last name. Why? Because that establishes your credit, that establishes contract, and it also establishes that you and I, the living people, take a surety and responsibility for the paper version. Now your date of birth is changed. That's not you legally. That's not you no more. You don't have to be responsible for that. Yeah, this is a fact. And that's why a lot of people got private addresses. This is another way you can protect yourself versus where they live. Because where you live is not your residence. I'm going to say that again. Where you live is not your residence. Why? Because the word residence in Black's Law's dictionary means one who is operating in commerce and business. So you don't call it residence, you call it your domicile, your dwellings. See, this is why we as a people got to understand language and terminology. Domicile and dwellings is not the same as residence. That's why you have resident parking, because they're charging people who consent to doing business at home when you're not. You're living there in your dwellings. In fact, your real home is your body.
Right.
That's
Right.
where you really live. I know people that have been to court. Kevin Bennett said this. He went to a magistrate court, and the word magi means free, by the way. Magi, this week get the three wise men. And they asked, where do you live? I said, I live here. Where? In my body. That's what Kevin Bennett said. Shout out to Kevin. So
Yeah.
that is the fact. And also
Yeah.
another fact, if you are asked by the local constabulary, the police, what is your date of birth? Did you know you can respond by saying, I don't know? Now think about it. Who are you in the chat? Put a one in the chat. Who remembers the actual date that they were born? Was you cognizant? Was you aware? Was you conscious? Go on. Put a one in the chat now.
If you were
Prove me.
conscious.
Prove me wrong. Can you remember? Did you go, wah, wah, and you looked to your left, you saw the clock, and you could tell the time? And you noted it? No. So how do you know your date of birth? It is called in law hearsay. So you can establish yourself as the truthful, honorable man and woman by saying, I don't know, because I was not aware. I was a baby. Isn't that right, Your Honor? Case dismissed, dash out. Cases have been thrown out based upon those little small things, based upon people not signing. Very careful, don't sign away your data. And charges like speeding tickets have been thrown out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm not
It's
a lawyer,
getting-
by the way, people. This is not legal advice. This is just case law that I'm reciting to you. I'm just referencing things like Black's Law's Dictionary. I'm referencing what's out there. Yeah? But I'm telling you, your date of birth is what identifies you as your straw man and straw woman. You have the right to change your name, first and last name. You have a right to take away an appellation, the title known as Mr. or Ms. You can be, under the Equalities Act of 2010, I do not identify as, if you get what I'm saying, wink, wink. And you can do that legally, that I don't want to be identified as a gender, because your paper version of you is not male or female. It's just paper. It's a corporation. It's neither male or female. You understand?
Yeah.
I know people that got bank accounts. They don't know whether they're Miss or Mr. You protect yourself like that, you see? Now you unannex yourself from the paper version of you. Science. That's why wealthy people don't put things in their name. In their name.
Right.
Feel me? They own the copyright to it. They trademark it. They register their name, limited company. And then you send all of your bills to your private address, not where you live, not your domicile. Protect yourself.
Protect yourself, family. And this is information that we all need to know, boy, because this, like, they're not going to stop with their agenda. People think that petitions are going to stop the agenda. The petitions, there could be 30 million people that sign that petition. It's not going to stop the agenda. Do you understand? People in the chat, yeah, who was around when they were introducing poll tax?
Yes.
Who can tell me what life was like in the UK, in London, or wherever when they were introducing poll tax? Who remembers that time? Either put the thank you. There were riots.
Come on.
There were riots in the street. People were
That's
like,
right.
nah, you can't charge us for this. What's poll tax? You know, they just changed the name of it.
Council tax.
Boom.
That's right. And that poll tax was in March 1990. And that was Trafalgar Square. And it was abolished as well. There was an abolition of poll tax of it as well, due to people dragging police off horses and rioting. And we don't advocate that, but we're just saying these people are not having it, mate. They're not having it. So they changed, see, word magic, from poll tax to council tax. What is council tax? Council tax is the Local Government Finance Act of 1991, introduced by Norman Tebbit. Norman Tebbit worked for, guess who? The Rothschilds Bank. Norman Tebbit also studied at Cambridge and was a part of the Oxbridge gang. Boris Johnson, David Cameron, and all the boys. They're a part of a club. You and I are voting, petitioning politicians who were put into position by the private bankers. Keir Starmer has been put in that position to crash the economy by the private bankers, owned by the Zionist lobbyists who control this country. Hence why council tax is going up, because that goes towards what is going on in Israel, Ukraine, and other places. Under the Terrorist Act of 2000, Section 15, it says no one it is unlawful to fund terrorist organizations. Well, Lewisham, Bromley, Croydon are all organizations. They're all corporations. When you pay your council tax, you have a right to ask questions to see if any of that money is going towards cluster bombs, going towards munitions, and going towards war, because that's funding terrorism. Another section of the Local Government Act is also they charge people with commercial property. What did we say earlier? Commercial or commerce is business. You are not operating under business. And most of the times they send a summons in capital letters, meaning they want to make capital of you and I. The vampires, the remics, the mosquitoes, the parasites want to suck from our blood, sweat, equity so they can maintain the status quo.
There you go. There you go. And some people are asking in the Q&A for you to expand on a few things. But family, we're going to actually have to do like a webinar specifically for this. I mean, join his Thursday club. Join the Power of Consent Thursday club, and he goes into this in much more detail. Plus, you guys get your tickets for these events. The Black Women's Health event is this Saturday. The Black Men's Health event is next month. Power of Consent are going to be there. They're going to be hosting the Black Men's Health event. So yeah, we're going deep, bro. We're going deep, family. We're going to be going deep into these subjects. But
just
with regards
surface,
to we're just scratching the surface. But with regards to what people were saying with how can we protect ourselves, so we talked about just not giving away your data so easily. So you signing a petition, that's you giving away your data easily. You don't realize it. Little things when it comes on to how we protect literally where we live, our body. Yeah. If you're someone, because I know a lot of us, we really think we're doing a good job, a good thing when we donate our blood. Understand that's you giving away your data. When you donate blood, that's you giving away your data. Yeah. And again, a lot of us feel like we're doing a good thing because we hope that it goes to sickle cell sufferers and blah, blah, blah. But understand you're just literally giving them something for free, and you're giving them the most valuable thing you can give them, your blood. Yeah. If you're taking a flu shot or anything that pierces your skin, understand, look at, if we go with my brother's analogy, that where you live is your body. That's where you live. Yeah.
Come on.
So let's go back to the Sinners movie and the jute joint. Yeah. The jute joint is where you live. The vampires are trying to get into the jute joint. That is your body. So anytime you allow something to go past your skin, it's your skin. That's you allowing the vampires in.
Come on.
So whether it's a flu shot or a vaccine or anything like that, their drugs, even their drugs, their medication, unfortunately, you're allowing them to come into the jute joint.
And who's the one that stopped them from coming in and questioned them?
There you go.
It was the sister, the hoodoo sister, the spiritual mother, who knew about medicine and science.
Someone in the chat said that earlier. It's a spiritual warfare.
Come on.
This is a spiritual fight we're against. You get me?
Absolutely, King. Absolutely. So I can't wait to join the family this Saturday on the 11th.
This Saturday.
And
actually,
we're going to go into what Leon just broke down. We're going to show that on the 30th of October in Tower Bridge. We're actually in a bar that is owned by a black man, and it was formerly a bank. Oh man.
Wow.
It's so deep. The energy is so deep. And look, when we break it down, the term bar, there's a reason why there's a lawyer society called the Bar Guild Association, the word bar. And then when they want to lock people up, lawyers or police people, they put them behind bars. And when you want to get drunk, you go to a bar, yeah, or you're statued barred. The English language is so tricky, man. Once we get to know it and see it for what it is, then we can read between the lines, even with I won't go there, but with the press, with how they've been reporting certain things recently. You gotta read between the lines, man.
Like I say, don't always go with the official narrative. Do you understand? Don't always go with what they say. Like if we just do one thing and just, I call them the usual suspects. The usual suspects always lie. So whatever story they come out with, you may not know the real truth, but chances are what they're telling us is probably not the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is not just for
Facts.
big events like, like a Charlie Kirk or a 9/11. I'm talking about other events, and especially events that involve us. I'm just gonna touch on this. Yeah, the young black youth that got
Yeah, bro.
he died a couple of days ago, yesterday or something like that.
Marcus on Friday. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that is suspect, fam.
Come on.
Everyone's like, oh, and everyone's just going with the official narrative that he just died in some car crash, not realizing that he was being chased by the
Pursued.
police. What's an 18-year-old getting chased by the police for?
19.
19. What's he being pursued for? For what? And let's not go back to what happened to Chris Cabba. Remember when they pursued
brother,
him?
see, brother. Oh God, sorry. Let me just mute myself. You just gone there. Go ahead.
Bro, I don't even want to go into it because it's deep. But I see everyone like, oh, I'm just like, we need to stay in the question mode with these people.
Facts.
We need to stay in the question mode. I don't believe, obviously, condolences to his family, but I don't believe what happened. I don't believe that's the official story.
No way.
It sounds too suspect, fam.
Too suspect. I got the tinfoil hat on for that one, bro.
Trust me.
We got it on. We got a question. And the racist media as well.
Oh, come on.
Boy pursued by police died. Hold on. Why you word it like that for?
And that's the thing, though. They didn't even word it. When it first come out, all you heard was the guy who got accused of, sexual assault or something in Dubai has died in a car accident. I'm like, what?
But that's the point. They throw words in there and always criminalize our young people, as we all should know by now.
Right.
And this is why the beginning of the movie Sinners, Ryan Coogler is showing cleverly how youth are criminalized, the church scene of Sinners. We're going to break that down as well. And why Ryan Coogler did that.
Yeah. But yeah, family, anyone else have any questions or comments? Raise your hand now. Because with these podcasts, like I used to do, we don't go on for too long. It's Sunday. People need to get to bed, get ready for the week and that. So if you have any questions, raise your hand now if you want to go live. If not, all right, let's see who we got. Sharon, you can unmute your mic.
It's just a quickie. People have been putting in the chat, the Sinners event, is it going to be streamed as well, or is it you have to actually go to the bar to be able to participate?
Thank you. It's going to be physical, live in the flesh.
Okay.
But yeah, people are going to want to get to see that, bro. So, man, oh man. Might have to...
sir. And we're going to do what we see, because I've got at least 10 hours worth of breakdown of all of the Sinners. Of the whole movie. We're not going to be able to break it all down at the Black History Month celebration, but we're going to go through the key parts. But for a deeper insight into the film, we're going to be putting up on the platform so people can watch it in their own time. Because we've already done part 1, part 2. Now we're going to break down the juke joint. We're going to break down the vampire. We're going to break down the ending scene as well, with the symbolism behind it. We're going to break down the beginning, which is one of the most important parts of the film as well, which Ryan Coogler, who was inspired by Malcolm X movie, Spike Lee, why he put it in the film. Why is there so much references of trees? Yeah, in regards to health, all of these different things.
Wicked. Nice one, bro.
Yes, sir.
Big up.
Thank you. Right. Big yourself up, brother. Great work, man.
Love. All right, so family, we are going to finish up. If anyone else wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand now. If not, then I'm just going to finish up, tell you guys what we got coming up. So let me just quickly share my screen. Big up everyone for joining tonight. It's all love. Oh, hold on. There we go. All right, so we've got these 2 huge events coming up, family. We've got the Hidden Science of Black Women's Health. I think this is, we put out, it was sold out like a month ago, but there was such a huge demand. So we put some more tickets on the Eventbrite and they've gone. Jeez. So this is going to be an absolute madness. If you got your tickets, we can't wait to see you next week at Goldsmith University. That's going to be huge, family. Breaking down, the true science of how our bodies work from a Black perspective, which you don't really get. It's crazy because there are a lot of Black doctors out there, but they're taught by the establishment. They're taught by the same people that don't tell us the truth. So even if you're a black doctor, chances are you don't really know the truth about melanin. You don't really know the truth about how your body works from a black perspective. So your blackness doesn't really help with you being a doctor. You're just one of them, unfortunately. Unless you know the truth about melanin, unless you know the truth about how our bodies work from a black perspective. Because again, like that first video I showed, the chick said, it can't just be our skin. It can't just be something to do with black people's skin. Yeah, your skin represents your biochemistry. Your skin represents something amazing that's going on internally. That's what they fear. They don't fear your skin. And like, yeah, the skin don't really mean nothing to them. It's more what's going on beneath the skin that they want. Ask Henrietta Lacks. That's the reason why they took her tissues and organs and that sort of stuff. That's the reason why they take black women's tissues and organs when you guys go into the hospital for anything, by the way, not just for pregnancy. You go in there with fibroids, tutus, they take out your womb. You understand? So we need to understand who we're dealing with and understand how to protect our data. And that means all of our data, our melanin, our organs, our tissues, our stem cells, and any other data. Yeah. So Black Women's Health, that's next Saturday, or Saturday coming up. And then next month, I want to see a lot of you at the Black Men's Health Power of Consent. The brother who was just talking, he's going to be hosting. So anyone who's got questions about what Power of Consent was just talking about, you guys will get your questions answered at this event. It's going to be a very, very powerful event. Yeah. And for those that don't know, I've started a weekly health/wealth webinar called Wellness is Wealth. That's every Wednesday. So you guys sign up for that if you haven't already. Let me see if I can get the link. If anyone's got the link to this, if you could post it in the chat. I don't even think I've got the link, but I'll post it in the chat in a little bit. Yeah. So Wellness is Wealth. That's every Wednesday. Sign up to that. We're going to have different guests every week. Next week, well, this week coming Wednesday, we've got Leah Salmon, who's the host of the Hidden Sides of Black Women's Health. So Leah Salmon's going to be the guest this week. Every week, we're going to try and have different guests every week. So sign up for that. And yeah, this is a weekly thing now, family. We're going to be breaking down, you know, things that are in the news, whatever's to do with Black folks, whatever's to do with melanin. We're going to be talking about it on a weekly basis now, family. It's very important that we kind of come together and discuss these things so we're all prepared for what's to come. Because yeah, things are going to change. Like the poll tax thing, there was riots, there was uproar, and they just changed it. They just waited until everyone calmed down and just changed it to council tax. In other words, we're going to still do our agenda. We just do it in a very deceitful way and you don't even realize it. So they're going to do the same with the BritCard thing. Even if everyone's like, nah, we're not doing this BritCard thing, they'll just change it to something else. And again, with transhumanism, it's going to be a thing where it ain't even going to be the app. It's you they're going to be controlling. Do you understand? The more you allow these nanoparticles to come into your system, whether it's through injections or through food or whatever, you now become controllable. So yeah, I hope people learn some things tonight. If you're on Instagram, by all means, follow me at Leon Marshall Online. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, and I will see a lot of you hopefully on Saturday, but if not, we're back here Sunday, family. Every week now we're doing this Marshall Melanin Podcast. Thank you for joining. We are signing out now. Love, love, love. Everyone, enjoy your week, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, and let's keep this going, family. One.
Genius.
Wow. want do me something, but them can't do it no.